Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is just gone 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday. It is time for Retro Gaming Revival presents Mod Cons. And as you can see from the little icon there, just above there, we've slipped back into, as I said earlier, a very comfortable old pair of slippers here. We are back for StreamYard. This is just lovely. It works like a charm. You click go live, linking everything. Oh, I feel like I've been spoiled now. How
does it all
delightful.
for
Also,
you.
we just logged back into our old account, so all of our stuff's already there. Got
It
all
is
the folders, it's all organised. Just like, oh, there it all is.
absolutely
Amazing.
delightful. So welcome everyone. It is ModCons this evening. We'll be talking about all things modern gaming. We have got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. There's a few of you in the chat, but before we get to the chat, let's go round. We have got Triangle Face joining us.
Hello.
We have got Blunars.
Hello, everyone. I've done my usual. I've done a gift, and it's gone to, I think it's my mate Jamie, actually. It's gone to Jamie. So, you have leveled up.
Super duper. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We have got a couple of people in the chat already. We've got Dave Newland. Sorry, I clicked on something there. Somebody else did as well. Hello, Dave. We've got Timothy Earnshaw. Good evening, Timothy. Lovely to see you. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Rob Taylor. Wouldn't be the same without you, Rob. Good evening. And we have got Mag in the house. Good evening. Mag, you are very welcome. I'll explain that in just a moment. We've got Toxo in there. Good evening, Toxo. And we have also got Colin Brown. So welcome, everybody. Before we get to what have you been playing, I had a moment this week where I thought I'd walked into the Twilight Zone. I was sat at work, cracking on as you do, and the person that I was sat next to went out to the reception and came back in with Mag. Of all the people that were to come into my work, it completely threw me. It was just the weirdest thing. It was a wonderful surprise, but it really threw me. And Mag was covering for somebody who was meant to be in our building doing a few things, and of all the people to just randomly turn up on a Monday, it was absolutely delightful to see you. It was the strangest of things, but a very pleasant way to start the week, I have to say. So you're most welcome for your cup of tea. Okie dokie. Let's go to our first topic this evening. That is, what are you playing? So let's go to Tim first. Tim, what have you been playing? Because I think you've got something very exciting.
I will just show from the comments. Hang on, I've lost it now. I did find it. Where is it? Hang on, there we go. So the first question, how am I finding Gran Turismo 7? Very, very good in VR. And then Dave has then added, just wait until you try it with a wheel. Oh, here's what I got earlier.
Look at that.
It's very, very fun and very nice. And that also comes with, this is the other part of it, this is the pedals.
Look at that.
I've got my pedals, so I can connect it to, I've got basically a little pop-up desk. There's a little clamp that comes with it. So you can clamp the wheel onto the desk and then put the pedals underneath. Yep. And then I'm playing it in VR. So the setup doesn't look amazing, but I can't see it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite comfortable. What a brilliant sort of complete experience that game is. It's really, really cool. I'm not really like a big racing sim guy normally. Like, I'm not massively into racing games all the time. I do dabble in them occasionally, but there's something about doing it in VR. And when the last GTA, I think there was some VR features on it, and I think there's like a couple of tracks, or you could do a few like time trials thing in VR, but the rest of the game was just not VR. I was like, I don't think I'd fancy that. I'll wait until they're going to bring out something eventually, right? And now I've got the PSVR 2. I was like, right, what racing games are there on VR 2? They're going to be good. And Gran Turismo was like the most recommended one. So I've got GT7. And when I was playing it, it's like, it's great, but I'm still sat there with a controller and I'm in this like immersive VR experience with my headphones on and stuff. And I just had to get myself a wheel. I was like, oh, go on then. I used my birthday money I had to buy a wheel to go with it. So now I've got the full setup, and I think I'm going to be sinking ages into that.
I was like, how good is it?
How good? It is really good. It's really, really good.
You feel like you're going really fast?
Well, this is the thing. I've just got to a point now, because slowly you open up different things. You start off with sort of normal cars, because all the cars in it are like based on real cars. And you have all the different types of cars you have to collect. So part of the game is you have to collect cars from like a menu, and then you unlock more stuff. There's certain races that you unlock cars, and you unlock more races, and you kind of unlock stuff as you go and open up more things you can do. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm racing much faster cars on tracks with like harsher turns and stuff. And you really have to like brake before the corners a lot and slow right down to get your maneuvers in. Otherwise you do just like go skidding off. So it's starting to get a lot more challenging now than at the start. So it slowly like adds all these different features in. But it's quite good because it kind of prompts you to experience more of the game, because there's certain levels where the next race you need to do, you have to have cars from a certain country or certain manufacturer. And the only car I had didn't meet the performance requirements. So then you have to go to the garage and you have to buy like better suspension, better brakes, better tires. And then you can then super your car up so you have the better performance, and then you can take it out again and take part in that race. And there's like different weather conditions and things like that. It can be like daytime and nighttime. So every course can be experience of like daytime or nighttime, raining and not dry and things like that. It's so detailed. It's so detailed. And again, a lot of it's probably lost on me. So I'm not a big like car person normally. So if you're into cars and you know the ins and outs of different makes and models of cars and stuff, it's probably going to be even more satisfying to play. But
how does it feel? Like saying, just being sat, you're in and it's just flying by, as you can look left and right, and you're just flying around. Yeah, and
like checking your mirrors is literally check the mirrors. There's not like a button to look behind you. If you look behind you, you have to turn around to look behind you. So
any motion sickness, but do you know what I mean? Like
if
you're going that fast, and you're like.
The thing is, I've played quite a lot of VR, and I played things like Wipeout. Omega in VR was very fast, and I think the worst one for me probably was Doom VR, and I managed that without feeling ill, so I'm fine. But I think it depends on what your motion sickness is like for VR, if you can manage it or not. But I've personally not had any issues. But I've also got like the headphones that sit over the top of the VR headset, so I've got the headset on and the noise cancelling headphones on. And then the wheel and the pedals, and I'm literally just completely in the game. It's amazing. So brilliant,
excellent.
Yeah.
Are you playing anything else, or are you just on?
The only other thing I've played a little bit of was one of the PlayStation Plus games of the month. So I shall save that for a bit later when we talk about what's out on PlayStation Plus, because I can give you my views on that game.
Super duper. Blunners, what have you been playing?
So I finally finished Indiana Jones. I've got my Xbox linked up to my projector I got for Christmas. So when everyone goes off to bed, just play that on the massive wall. So good. And it's still, and to be honest, I can still go back and there's still loads of stuff I've missed. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a Bethesda game. There's endless things to do and find. I took my time in one of the areas, but I didn't realize I'd completely missed half the stuff in all the other areas like beforehand. So I did go back and do a little bit of stuff, but then I thought, right, I've finished this. I want to get on to my next game I've been playing, but I'll just talk a bit more about Indiana Jones. Like I said, loved it. For me, I'd give it, I would say 8.5, 9 triangles out of 10. Phenomenal game. I just love the gameplay mechanics. You get immersed into like being, and you'll then find yourself trying to find these little gaps and little like area to find the little hidden items and stuff that are hidden around. And I love the fact that for ages I was trying to like sneak about, and then I realized, hang on a minute, I'm surely there's like, and then I clicked on this side mission that I then had to get like a Nazi commander gear. So as soon as I got that, I could just slap that on, and then I can just walk around these areas, which I was before trying to like sneak around, but like Triangle Face said before, sneaking around isn't like very good in that game, so you always get caught. So I would so once you're like, you can just like kind of like walk around. There's only certain officers that, like, if they see you, it will then start to twig. So you just quickly run and hide if they see you. So yeah, so I was in amongst them, just walking around, taking photos of areas I needed to, finding all the little hidden like the paracetamol is another one. You got to find like the medication that you trade in for books, and then find all these books to upgrade X, Y, and Z. So there's loads. So yeah, really, really enjoyable. And we were saying, I know it might be coming to PlayStation 5 at a later date, but finally a game that for Xbox, for me, that is right up there, like with any other game. And it came out at a perfect time, like just before Christmas. Wasn't really anything else coming out. And it was, if you've got Game Pass, you ain't paying for it. You just play it for free.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was definitely a good Game Pass launch, wasn't it? Made you feel like your Game Pass was worth it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and then I went on to Luigi and Mario. Well, Mario and Luigi Brothership. So I've gone back to that.
Nice.
Because I want to get it finished before Assassin's Creed next month. And yeah, so I've been doing. It's all right. It's like I was saying before about it. It's not like as good as the Mario games. For me, it was. We've started this game on 3DS. Oh shit, the 3DS is now going. We're gonna go concentrate solely on Switch. Right, you've now got to try and port this game over to Switch. That's what it feels like to me. It's like a game they've started elsewhere, then they've ported. So, but it's all right. It's not like as bad as you think. It's like turn-based battles, upgrade yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like level up your each one, upgrade your gear, all that kind of stuff. So it's not too bad. I've heard it's about 20-30 hours max. So I think I'm about halfway through that at the minute. But yeah, I just want to make sure that by the time Assassin's Creed comes around, I'm ready to play that, because I love them games.
Yeah. Super. So I have now finished Epic Mickey Rebrushed. Thoroughly enjoyable. Really, really good fun. I think I might go through it again another time and just do it as the bad Mickey, because you can choose to either paint things or use the paint thinner to thin the world out. And of course, I'd like to be the good guy first. So I might go through it and thin things out and try and get the bad ending. This translates really, really well to modern consoles. So if you've got a Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox, and you enjoyed it the first time round, play it, because it really does work well. It's transferred well, and it looks fantastic as well. It really does look good. I'm getting around to playing two games that I have had on the side for a long time. I recently had to go to London for work, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick a game to play on the train that I haven't started yet. That is Metroid Dread. And I hate myself for waiting this long to play it. But good grief, that is a game. There's a lot of backtracking. I have had to use a guide once or twice, because there's genuinely some parts where I was just completely lost. But what a game. This is fantastic.
How was it when you jumped into your first like runaway from the droids kind of thing? What they called again?
Yeah, I can't think what they're called off
I've
the top
got
of
an
my head
email of them around the back, but yeah.
Panic. Pure panic.
You do. You just crap yourself and try and get out there as quick as you can.
Yeah. But it's so fluid and so smooth. It's a very good looking game as well. But yes, I'm really enjoying Metroid Dread. So I'm a little bit of the way through that. And I have also started, and I genuinely can't believe it's taken me this long to get to this either. Finally started Resident Evil 4, the remake. Wow, this is great. It looks stunning. It plays really well. It's a Resident Evil game, isn't it? It's Resi 4. Everybody remembers Resi 4. This is probably the definitive version, because it just looks great. It plays great. I don't have a bad thing to say about this. From what I hear, it's fantastic from start to finish. So
it's gone cheap as well, isn't it? I'm sure it's dropped recently.
Yeah.
Does that one work in VR as well?
I don't think it does.
I know they did bring out 4 on the Oculus, because I played it on the Oculus when it came out.
That was
the
just Oculus the normal one was the oldest. Yeah, this one.
Oh, that's the remake of it. Okay. I see.
But, yeah, I need to get it, but then I'll have it 4 times, I think, if I get it again. But I do need to get it because I've got it on PS2 and everything else, like GameCube and that.
It's great. I can see what all the hype was about it. And I think you're right, Tim. It is quite inexpensive at the moment. I think I picked mine up well, I picked mine up a little while ago, but it was like 15 quid or something in a sale. So it's just been sat there waiting for the right time, and now was the right time. So thoroughly enjoying that. And then, as always, I've got to pick up other bits and bobs here. Just one other thing I picked up, and that was part of the Horror Tales series. The first one in the series was called The Wine, which I didn't get to play, but luckily the sequel comes with a digital copy of that, and that is called The Beggar. Neither have I. It was the cover that caught my attention, and then I read it was a sequel to The Wine, which is something I really want to play. It's sort of horror fantasy, a little bit of horror sci-fi, first person. I really don't know what to expect from it, other than the cover is glow in the dark and it looks really gnarly.
It looks a bit like not Dead Space, but kind of like that kind of character, doesn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to it. I will get round to it. I don't think it's going to be particularly long, but yeah, little indie title, sequel to a game I wanted to play, comes with the version of the game that I wanted to play as well. So why not? Let's run in with that. And that is where I am at with games at the moment. And just before we do dive on, I know Mr. Dave Newland has put in the chat that he is at the Golden Saucer in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Enjoy your time there, my friend, because there's lots you can do, lots of games you can interact with. As I did, and I think as Tim did for the original Final Fantasy VII, I think I've got a little save file of the Golden Saucer for the Rebirth version as well, so I can just pop in and have a little play around on the games every now and then. Yep. Okie dokie. So let us henceforth to our first topic of this evening. That is the PSN, the PlayStation Network, is back and up running after Sony's 24-hour outage. Was it 24 hours? Was it 2 days?
Yeah, 24 hours. Yeah, downtime.
This thing as well. I just picked up GTA 7. Right, not GTA 7, sorry, GT 7. I keep doing that with GT. Yeah, just picked up Gran Turismo, right? I put it in, thinking, right, I might not get it. It might have loads of stuff to download. So I put the disc in and copy it. And then later I come back, and once you launch the game, then it downloads a huge update, and it's downloading for ages. I didn't get a chance to play it. I only play the music mode that it actually played at the start. I was like, not to worry, I'll play it tomorrow. And then on the Saturday, the PlayStation Network outage, and I went to go to the point where I could make an account. Couldn't make an account because I couldn't connect to the servers. So I couldn't play the game. I was like, And then I had ordered the wheel as well. So the wheel turned up on the Sunday. Then Sunday evening, I finally got to play it, but I was waiting from Friday evening right through to Sunday to actually have a go. That was really annoying. It was like, but there's other stuff to play, so I was like, I'll just have to play something else for now to keep me busy. But yeah, that was a pain.
And this happened with Microsoft last year before. I can't remember. Time just doesn't exist anymore. But it happened to Microsoft, and it affected all of their online games as well, even the games that you bought. And from what I read, or what I have read online, I think the same thing happened with Sony. So you've paid for a game, you've bought it digitally, and you can't play it because the live service is down. This doesn't. This still doesn't, for me, say that we are ready for a digital-only system yet. Because even Steam, you can just download it to your Steam Deck or download it to your PC and play it, even if there's no internet. So it's perplexing that this is where we're at with digital games.
That it can be switched off like that, mate. And no one can do anything. So I said, what they're the gift they're giving to everyone is 5 days of PS Plus.
Yeah,
so everyone's receiving an extra 5 days for nothing. For 1 day out, they're giving you 5 days.
It's one of those things, though. Well, I'm probably not even going to notice that because I kind of just automatically renew it, and I'll pay it in that month. So it's just going to delay my pay going out for 5 days. But it's still going to come out the same month's pay packet when I renew it at that point of the year. So I pay for it annually. So not really going to notice 5 days, but it is what it is. I'd rather they gave us a game or something. Just chuck us a game.
That's the thing. By doing that, it costs them nothing, does it? They're not giving you anything really. It's just I'll just get 5 extra days. That'll shut them up.
I suppose you'd notice it if you were planning on not renewing it, and then you got to keep it for 5 more days. But I'm going to renew it anyway, so I'm not really going to notice that 5 days.
Yeah, and the thing that sucks the most is when it had that really big outage. Do you remember back in? Oh
Yeah,
god,
remember
the PSP
hacked,
was
didn't it?
out. Yeah, and it was almost like was it 3 weeks with
Yeah, it
no
was a long
PlayStation
time.
Network?
Yeah,
It
they
was a
shut it all down,
while.
didn't they?
And they came out from that and were like, look, we're really sorry, we effed up. And they did give you some games. They gave you an option of two free games, and they were like good games. 2011, you're right. And it was you got a selection of 2 games that you could pick, and you could also pick games for your PSP as well, because that was affected. And okay, that was like 3 weeks. But even still, 3 weeks of PlayStation Network, back then it was a $5. What was it, a $5 a month?
Yeah, they're about £5. It wasn't that expensive.
So, it wasn't even £20 worth, and they gave you 2 free games, which could have cost upwards of 15-20 quid each. So, just 5 days free PlayStation Plus is it's not great.
So I'll just read what it says here. It says reports of PSN going offline started appearing in the early hours of Saturday morning, and Sony reported the issue had been resolved at nearly midnight. But there's still no explanation why the PS and downtime, which left many players unable to access online service, access their libraries or of digital games, or pair their PS5 disc drives. So pair their new PS5 disc drives.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that was it as well, wasn't it? If you had a PS5 Pro and you've already got the PS5 as your main system, and you'd not set up the PS5 Pro to be your main system, that also meant that you couldn't really do a great deal with it. And it was just, what are we doing? What are we doing?
mad.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. It really is. This is where you just cannot get away from, for me.
Yeah. If you didn't play it, then you've got 5 days extra for nothing. So
yeah,
I think I would have been fine if I was still playing some other game playing there is Final Fantasy 15. I think that would have just worked. But the game I went to go play was GT7, but I hadn't set up my account yet. And the first thing you need to do is like register like a new account for it and put in a username. And it just came with an error message going, nope. So I can't even get past the first screen to play it. So I'm just gonna have to wait.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not great, and I appreciate things happen, and services go down, and sometimes you just can't do anything about it. But I still think in this massively over digital age, we shouldn't be having outages like this. Or if there are outages, you should still be able to access your library that you've paid for. If you only do it via streaming, okay, maybe that's slightly different. But if you've purchased the game digitally, you should be able to play it. That's unfair. That's my only gripe with it, really, because I didn't really notice a great deal. I think I was out Friday anyway. So to not be able to play a game, fine. But
you think if you had a Portal, PS Portal, you wouldn't have been able to play that at all?
No.
That relies on streaming, so you wouldn't be able to do any of that.
It's just weird. It's weird. I still just think it advocates for me. We're not ready for a digital only systems yet. We're just not ready for it.
I'm saying that's what scares me, is the fact that you can be hacked, or the lights can get switched off like that, and then all that money you spent means nothing, because guess what? You ain't playing your stuff because we need to check, we need to verify it on our accounts to see that you've got it, which is mad.
See, when it comes to like online stuff, that's why I prefer to have things like Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, where you're paying a subscription, you have access to a library.
Yeah, really.
Because then you're not actually buying the games, and I'll accept that. It's like, okay, I haven't bought those games. I'm paying to access the service, and that service at some point might stop, and I won't be able to access those games anymore. But I haven't bought them. But if you're buying games and then they get taken away, it's like, what?
Why can't I play this?
Yeah. So it makes me feel better about the wall of games that I have just over here, where you're like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
If you were to turn the old digital side of things off, I've got plenty of games here to keep me going, probably until I die. So I'm all right. And it's a real first world problem, isn't it? It really is a first world problem. But there we go. you've bought a
I mean,
system,
that's
you couldn't game on it. That's a pain in the ass.
I think that's a scary thought. I still like buy new games when they come out, but I think if I just sat and play through every game that I've got, I probably wouldn't be able to finish all my games before I died. Because there's just that much of a backlog. Is that right? If I include ROMs and stuff and that as well, it's like, yeah, there's no way I can actually play every game I've got.
Yeah.
Just got to jump from one to another.
Yep. But ho-hum, there we go. Life of a modern gamer. Let's keep with PlayStation for the next topic. And people in the chat, let's get your thoughts on this as well. And this is the PlayStation State of Play is due to return Wednesday. That is tomorrow with a 40-minute show. This should be their little flagship to sort of suggest what's coming. Maybe show a handful of games for things that are coming soonish. That would be nice, sort of like they did with Microsoft. I thought Microsoft's panel, we discussed this last time. I thought Microsoft's presentation recently, albeit 80% of it is coming to PlayStation 5 as well, it was a really strong presentation. I think if they were keeping those all as exclusives, that would have been a slam dunk show. So knowing that Sony aren't sharing their IPs, there's a part of me that really wants to see what they're bringing or what they're going to show. I've got no idea what they're going to show. So, Blunners, let's get some predictions in. What would you like to see, and what do you think they're going to show?
Right, yeah. So just before I do, I just want to say it is 10 o'clock UK time. So if you're in America, East Coast, it's 5 o'clock. And 2 o'clock if you're on the west coast of America. So yeah, 10 o'clock UK time. 40 minutes. It's a long time. I think I'm hoping it's more like your PlayStation like exclusive titles. I'm surprised. Kind of stuff. Some of the stuff they announced before. It wouldn't surprise me if they've got like a God of War in the works, or there's some more because of the Game of the Year Astro Bot. Wouldn't surprise me if there's some more DLC stuff coming for that as well. That'll get announced. Yeah, and I just want something like completely out there, like something different. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of an old IP that they've got that they haven't used in years, but something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like something that comes out that we're just not expecting at all. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Let me have a quick think. But yeah, so I'm hoping it's all new. Maybe like an old IP that everyone's kind of forgotten on.
So before I come to you, Tim, with what you would like to see and what you think they'll see, just going to put the comment up here from Mag, because every time Sony do a state of play, everybody wants this. So that is yes, something about Bloodborne, because recently a lot of people have been getting various versions of Bloodborne. There's been a fan community version that runs at 60 frames, which has been taken down. The Bloodborne demake has been taken down. People are getting struck left, right, and center for anything Bloodborne. So I think a Bloodborne remaster, even if it is just the PS4 version, but just running at 60 frames, I think that is a very strong possibility. I really do. People have wanted it every year. They're like, oh, Bloodborne, I want Bloodborne. But I think this year could be the year that we get it, or at least an announcement anyway. I would love it to be like not just a little remaster. I'd love it to have the full Demon's Souls treatment. That would be delightful, because Bloodborne is a beautiful game. So to play it on modern hardware would be absolutely stunning.
I'm saying for me, I think maybe if we see another Uncharted, maybe it's time to show us a new Uncharted game that's going to be coming. And also, like I just said about something I want redone, maybe like a brand new Ratchet & Clank, or like I said in the other day, like I put in the gaming group, I would love them to break out another Sly Cooper game. Oh, mate, they're one of my favorite platforming games, which we haven't really had any since the last one was on PS4, but early life. So yeah, that's what I would like.
Lovely. Tim, what would you like to see, and what do you think they'll show?
Blun's already mentioned a few because I reckon things like Astrobot's a good shout because obviously that got Game of the Year. They're going to keep going with that. I was thinking about old franchises I'd like to see come back, and I was thinking Uncharted as well. Actually, maybe like a remaster or something as well. We might get some remasters. I'd be happy with anything like another Metal Gear as well. Get us a new. They've been talking about some remakes, haven't they, of Metal Gear stuff? Maybe a new Metal Gear game would be cool. But the thing that's going to be keeping my interest is going to be anything new for PS VR2, because obviously I've got my VR2 headset now, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out for any new stuff coming to that. And to be honest, one thing that would be really cool is just seeing, not necessarily like lots of more like new games for PSVR2, but older games that are just remade for VR, because that's always really fun, revisiting a game. Like one of my favorite VR games I played when I first got the PSVR was Skyrim, because they brought Skyrim back out as a VR version. More like that would be great, like just older games that we've already had, but just a VR version would be really cool. So yeah, that's probably the most thing I'm wanting for is more VR. More VR games.
Do you think we're going to get any Last of Us 3 or something like that? Because you've now got the TV show number 2's coming out. Do you mean we all know how good that one was?
I think even if we don't see anything, I think we will at least get an announcement about Last of Us. That it's in the works. That it has been started. Just something.
But where else could they? Do you mean where else could they go? I don't want to be spoilers, but I'm just trying to say, would you have to go down a complete and different character?
No, I think Ellie's
still carry on from Ellie.
Yeah, I think Ellie's got one more story.
Yeah, you reckon?
I do, and I don't want to give any spoilers away because the Last of Us 2 is wow.
And will they make it look like the actual TV show ones? Not the. Do you know what I mean? Could you imagine it looks like old Pedro? Yeah, so like they've done with Donkey Kong, redone him. So yeah, maybe they'll redo it.
So
I like Tox's comment there. The Last of Us remake.
Yeah.
Can we have a remake of the remade remaster?
The last one of The Last of Us remastered.
But do you think? I don't know if we're likely to hear anything about GTA 6 as well. That's the thing that everyone wants to hear about.
Everybody does.
Is it the place though? Will we hear about GTA 6 in a 40-minute showcase?
No.
Or are we going to hear about it separately on its own?
I think Rockstar would just be better to announce their own little showcase for it, because the rumored for that game is it's going to be £100. It's going to be absolutely enormous install. Like they're going to want to show that puppy off like really well. So I don't think we'll see that. I would like to see Capcom announce Resident Evil 1 remake.
I've heard that's in the
that I would really like, even if it's just like the RE engine that they did for Resident Evil 2, 3. Like, give me that. I would love RE1 as a remake. Maybe some Resi 9 info. That might be cool. I'm just looking at something.
I've still got to do 8.
I'm still doing it now. I'm literally just on the first bit. I need to keep going, but I've taken a bit of a detour to play Gran Turismo.
8 is good. It's really good fun. Maybe Insomniac might show some Wolverine. That
I forgot about Wolverine game coming.
What about will we see any Spider-Man 3?
Spider-Man, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if they're working on it because they're working on Wolverine, aren't they?
Yeah, and they've just had a new CEO or a new president of Insomniac Games has now taken over. The main guy's been there for 30 years. So I do think Wolverine will be. I think people need to see it. We need to see it. Because it got announced 3 years ago now, possibly 2. But it's been a while.
Because I really liked the story and the world building they did in Spider-Man 1 and 2. And it kind of felt like they're building this Marvel gaming universe with all these other characters. And then the Avengers game came out and everyone was slamming it, saying how bad it was. It's no, I'm a really big Marvel fan. I love the Avengers. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to play this game. It's going to be great. And it was trash. So I was no.
The first level, the first bit was good, wasn't it? The first bit was not too bad.
You got to jump between the different characters and you paid for ages. I got to the point where you got to play as Hulk. So you spent ages playing as Miss Marvel. And it's I get to play as Hulk now. Actually, just playing as Hulk was just a bit dull. I was I kind of want to do some proper missions as like Captain America or Iron Man or something. But I gave up on the end. So I was like, no,
Captain America out on Friday.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
There was something else I wanted to bring up as well. I reckon Rocksteady are going to announce. Well, they have announced that they're doing another Batman game.
Yeah, as well done.
I still find it really confusing how they're going to do a Batman game. I really do just find it so confusing. Could we spoil Arkham Knight now? I mean, it feels like that game came out like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I played some of it and I gave up. So you can spoil bits of it for me now.
Well,
I think it's long enough.
The end of Arkham Knight. So spoiler alert if you don't know the end of Arkham Knight.
I'm trying to remember it. It's been so long since I played it.
Batman's identity gets revealed.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Live on television
TV,
for everyone in
doesn't it?
Gotham to see.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would be able to do a Batman game, because everybody, if you know Batman's Bruce Wayne, then you just bomb Wayne Manor, wouldn't you, constantly? Until Bruce Wayne is dead. So I don't really understand how that's going to work. And don't they kill him in Justice League? Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Yeah, I still haven't played it, to be honest. So I picked it up for £1.
I'm almost certain that they kill Batman in that as well. So, yeah, I don't know whether they're going to restart.
Does that count as a what if or something? Though that's the thing. No one's ever really dead in comic books and games, are they? You can easily write it out. It's like, yeah, that didn't happen. I'm going to just change this.
Yeah,
you can get around things. If they wanted to make a game, they would be able to. They could always. Again, they could always reboot it and say, "Oh no, this is a different Batman. We're starting from the beginning."
Yeah. But we'll see. It's probably a good move for them. But something else I really wanted to talk about as a topic, and it's just come back to me before we went live. I said I wanted to bring it up, but I may as well bring it up now because we're talking about Warner Brothers games. A long-standing rumor that we might get to see something of this fabled Wonder Woman game. I don't know if anyone remembers Warner Brothers games announcing, I want to say maybe 5 years ago, that there was a Wonder Woman game in the making. The reason apparently that it's taken so long for anything to come out about it is because they basically started again, got a new director and started again. And then halfway through making with the new director, somebody said, look, why don't you try and make a Flash game? Because that would be wicked if you could make that work. So they started to work on a Flash game, and then the Flash movie came out. Everybody hated it, thought it sucked, and it bombed at the box office. So they stopped making the Flash game and went back to Wonder Woman.
That Flash game would be good, though. I'd rather have a Flash game.
So I've just found an article on it, if you want me to read it.
Yeah, go for it.
It says Wonder Woman was being developed by Monolith Productions, and we used a Nemesis system from the acclaimed pair of Lord of the Ring titles released during the last generation. The game was announced in 2021 at the Game Awards, and since then nothing has been shown on the project. And this is one of the company's biggest bets in development of a video game of Wonder Woman has struggled to coalesce. According to people familiar with the project, early last year was rebooted and switched directors. The game has already cost more than $100 million. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna, and they reckon it's still years away from release if it ever makes it. So could you imagine someone stumped up $100 million for a game that's not
this does just go to show that Warner Brothers just don't know what they're doing with the DC franchise in movies, in games, in anything. They just don't have a clue. They course correct all the time, and there's
the fan base for it. Like, if they're like, when DC movies come out, I go watch them. But like, they just constantly have, oh yeah, we've kind of messed this up. We're going to start again. It's like the amount of reboots they do, even with the comics as well. It's like, how about the Flash runs really fast and resets the timeline again? Yeah, let's do that. Restart. Let's get some new readers in. And it feels like a few months go by, like, this isn't really going the way we want it. Should we do another reboot? Yeah, let's do a reboot. So it just feels like they're constantly rebooting the universes all the time.
It's the same in Marvel as well. It gets to a point where they almost exhaust the storyline. So a soft reboot is always, and I don't mind it in comic books. I really don't. But it certainly feels like gaming. It's like, come on, there's Batman, Wonder Woman. These are AAA characters. how are you not just making a cool product?
Surely we could get like a good Superman game. I know there's been a couple of Superman games, but
Superman 64.
They've got to bring out some good like Superman game. But again, like I feel like a Wonder Woman game would be a lot easier to make. You know what I mean? Because she's not moving around so fast. You could do cool combat. Like I'm thinking like God of War kind of style gameplay sort of thing.
Phenomenal.
That'd be good.
But how would you do Flash? Because he's too fast for it to not be like a gimmick thing. Like I don't know how it would work. You'd almost have to
control them, would you?
Yeah, it'd be too fast unless you like everything goes into flash time and slows down. I don't know what gaming mechanic would do that justice where it'd be a fun game. Because the thing with the Spider-Man games, they are really fun games to play, and just moving from one location to another, just web swinging around the city and stuff, and all the different like maneuvers and stuff you pick up in the combat, it's just brilliant. One of my favorite games is, all those 3 Spider-Man games are fantastic. I don't know how Flash would work in that same sort of vein of open world adventure with the Flash, because as soon as you want to go do something, you're like, vroom, you run off. And,
well, maybe that's something we can have a think about for the next ModCons. Could we come up with a fun Flash mechanic game where it would work?
Sounds good.
The comment from a gaming memory, yes, there is a good Superman game. Superman Returns on the Xbox 360. Genuinely good fun. Manages to make it work. It's the Brandon Roth Superman, which is, not awful. It's fine. There you go. Superman Returns on the 360. Not a bad game. So yeah, there we go. PlayStation State of Play.
Dave Noonan doesn't like the combat in Spider-Man. Outrageous.
Love it.
Controversial, David. Controversial.
Do like some controversy though. Yeah. Okay, let's jump to our next topic. Switch 2 news. This, I think, is going to continue until the Switch 2 launches. There are leaks left, right, and center. Lots of things to discuss. Good evening, Adam. Hope you're keeping good. Let's have a chat about the Switch 2 news. So, Ollie, throw some of the new Switch 2 news at us.
Okay, so first one I've got is there has been a suspected leak of the price, which if it is this, everyone would be loving it. So it was a Canadian website. They put it on there for $499 Canadian dollars, which works out $350 US dollars, which probably works out about 330 UK pounds. So if that is the case, which I don't think it will be, but as long as it's under 400, like I think that's going to be a killer. I think that would help it sell. So yeah, I don't know what everyone's thoughts on a price point is.
Go on, Plum. Tim.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that's a great, like I say, and if it's under 400 quid for this current gen of consoles, I think that's a good price. Like it just falls into that next bracket of like, oh yeah, I might get one of those. Do you know what I mean? Rather than thinking, oh, I'm going to have to really think hard about getting that. If it's over 500 quid, it's like, oh yeah, that's less impulsive now. Keep it under 400, yeah, I think they'd be laughing if they can get away with that.
Like he's put here with the PS5 Pro. Obviously, they had to drop that straight away because they weren't selling enough of it. But
that's an obscene price.
If you can get this for under £400, because bearing in mind, obviously, there's a whole tax system stuff that us Brits don't understand over there. Like you see something, you go up, you pay more. Don't really understand what's going on with that.
Yeah, they don't put the taxes on the price, do they? You have to work out tax yourself.
Then you've got to add tax on it, or is it 400 Canadian dollars? Then you've got to add your tax on, which would bump the price up to what we're thinking in our heads. But yeah.
I think a fair price, considering everything it's going to do. If it was something like 420, I still think that's going to be a good deal. But if Nintendo can somehow swallow 30 quid of that and make it 399, that just looks great and it sounds great. 350, like take my money now. I will part one of my children or something just to sort of get a down payment on it. But 350 just sounds like a great deal for what the Switch 2 is, rumored to be able to do. I'm all in on that as a price point.
But normally for me, if it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. Do you know what I mean? So like for me, 350 is a great price. I just feel nowadays, you know what it's like, everything's got added tax on it. So it would be amazing. Like you said, 350. Oh, well, I'm getting it anyway, so whatever it is. But if it was 350, I'd be more happy than I would be if I'm paying 400.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. For mags going 400 to 450. Yeah, I think that's probably where it's going to be. I just think that 399, that just sounds great. Hopefully they'll announce the price at the Nintendo Direct that they're going to be doing for the Switch 2 in April. That would be the ideal time to tell people the launch date and the price. It doesn't give people much time to save up for it, though. But
no,
we shall see.
What about launch title games?
Yeah, so I say the next one, launch title games.
New Mario Kart.
100%.
Yeah, we've seen footage of that, haven't we, as well? So
is that going to be 24 player online battle royale drop out after each track, like F-Zero?
That'd be very nice. I think that'd be cool. I mean, there was that. What was it that was seen in the video? There was a thing showing 25 spaces.
Yeah, so 25 spaces on the track.
I think so.
And it was all. There was all. Well, I think someone tried looking at all the people that were on there, and it was already ones that are already out. If you know what I mean.
I don't know if reckon all the rumored stuff about Microsoft diversifying and allowing their bits and bobs onto various systems. I think Nintendo will announce one of the launch titles is going to be the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah,
that's my prediction.
Again, there's quite a few games I've seen. I don't know if it's like leaks or rumors. I think it's speculation. But there's quite a few games that are already out, which they're bringing to Switch. The Master Chief Collection was on there with a bunch of other Microsoft titles, and it's like that's cool if you don't have those systems and it's your first chance to play those games. Great, but I'm not excited about Master Chief Collection because I've had it a long while. I'm going to be more interested in, like, again, it's not a thing where, okay, it's great if the Switch can play these games, but will it play? If I've already got it on the PS5, I'm not fussed about getting it on the Switch 2. I'm kind of still going to be more interested in the Nintendo titles. Like, will we get a 3D Mario? Will we get a new Super Smash Brothers? Will we get a new Zelda? It's like it's the same they do every generation. It's like, do something new, do something exciting, but at the same time, those are the games I want to get. Like if they bring out a new 3D Mario game, I'm like, yeah, I'm down. That looks good.
They absolutely will. But
I think, like they always do. They've done it with the GameCube and the Wii. They've done it with the Switch and the Wii U and the Switch. I think you're going to get. Oh wow! Sorry, I've just seen this,
dude.
Whoa!
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, really.
That is incredibly generous, dude. Thank you so much. Wow. As you can tell, this doesn't happen very often. So thank you so much.
Basically, a game of memory. All our money that we make goes on the channel, and it goes on giveaways. So that's brilliant. Thank you so much for that.
I don't think we've ever received so much money.
Yeah, wow. That's put me off what I was saying. Yeah, so I think that as much as it's not a massive seller, like me and you, I know how good this game is, Metro Prime 4. Yeah, I think 100%. It's going to be on both, but I think it's like, because when they showed it off, people were analysing that stuff and saying, that looks too good to be on a Nintendo Switch. Do you know what I mean? The kind of stuff they were looking at, they reckon it wasn't. And like you said, they always always do this. So it's like, yeah, it's just, I would love a Mario, because we haven't had a Mario day one since Mario 64. Because you mean Sunshine came late. Do you know what I mean? A day one, because Mario Galaxy's that's been out a long time. Do you know what I mean? We haven't had a full 3D Mario in a long time.
We had Mario Odyssey though, didn't we? How long ago was Mario Odyssey?
That's what I meant. Mario Odyssey.
Yeah. And then we also got that Mario 3D Worlds.
Yeah, but that's a remake. That's a remake of the one off of Wii U. So that's what I'm saying. It's not like a main title Mario game day one. They want to sell it. Will it tie in with the new Mario movie? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'd really like to see. I'd like to see a 3D Mario game that hasn't got a gimmick. Like I did enjoy Mario Odyssey, but I want to get a Mario game where there's not like the throwing the hat feature or like Mario Sunshine with a water pack or something. I just want Mario doing flips and stuff. Like, just give me a straightforward Mario game. Something like Galaxy. I thought Galaxy was a really good 3D Mario game. It's really good. It'd be nice to have like some callbacks. Like, imagine like a modern Mario game where you get to like redo levels from previous Mario games. Like, go to the castle from Mario 64 and then find yourself on one of the planets from Mario Galaxy and then get some original stuff. Like a Mario remix, Mario 3D remix, something like that.
Intriguing. Do you know, there is one franchise that I would love to return. Absolutely have a
let me guess. Let us guess.
Steaming fit over it returning. Go on.
Right, I won't say one first. Try and go first. Guess.
I don't know. You seem like you've got something in mind.
Possibly. I would like a new Star Fox.
I was hoping Star Fox.
Yeah, it's not the one I was thinking of.
That was
close, but not the one.
Try and think. An Nintendo franchise.
Wave Race?
F-Zero?
F-Zero,
F-Zero.
I think after they've dropped F-Zero 99, it's, do you know what I mean? But when they release a Mario Kart, I don't think they would. But it'd be amazing to get one.
A new F-Zero game in the first couple of years for me would be great, because the F-Zero GT, was it, on GameCube?
Yeah, on GameCube, yeah.
It's great. I mean, it's Sega. Sega made it, and it's great.
It's more arcadey as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but for me, that would be great. The last one that I loved was F-Zero X. That game was phenomenal, and it still looks great. I know it's blocky and it's of its time, but wow, that game still looks beautiful.
What would be your thoughts on this? Just saw the comment from Cute Tiger Gem. Mario 3D Maker. So Mario Maker 3D. I do like me some Mario Maker. I've only got the Wii U version. I never got the Switch one.
Yeah.
Imagine a Switch 2
Switch one was good.
Mario Maker where you can make 3D Mario levels.
I was crap at making the game, so all I did is waited for all the Japanese and all that to make it, and then just play their games. And some of them, you don't even do anything. You literally just stand there and it just starts off.
Yeah,
and
does
it gets you all the way to the end.
It was quite funny. I played with those.
The best ones.
I think I was around my sisters. I was showing my niece. I was like, "Oh, look how good Mario!" I did one of the levels, which is just run. So you just hold down run at the start, and then literally it's the perfect thing where you dodge all these spikes and go underneath all the fire and everything. But if you just have to run, but I didn't mention the fact that it's a run only level. It's like, let's see if I could do this. I just ran, and she thought I did reveal at the end. It's like a trick level. You just run.
She thought
I was actually doing it. I was like, this is really hard.
You should have thought, I'm a pro gamer.
Those levels were quite fun, though. Obviously, they took a long time for people to make. I made quite a few levels on actually. I got quite into it for a while.
Do you know what I would like to see? And we're not going to see it. I know we're not going to see it, but I would love to see another 3D Donkey Kong, like Donkey Kong 64. But modern. I'd love a new 3D Donkey Kong.
I'd love I'd love a Star Fox, but kind of like that flips between like adventures and Lilac Wars kind of one. Do you know what I mean? So like when you drop onto a planet, you go into like that adventure 3D like rendition, go in, do that, and then when you fly off to another one, you then going into like your ship, but it goes to like kind of like a level, like you're trying to fly to that level and being attacked or chased, and then you'll see.
What was the one on the GameCube that did that? There was like a Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah, that was Star Fox Adventures. But like then the ones they released on Wii U were just too weird, because you're having to look down at your screen, look up at the screen, look down on your screen, and it like you can't look at two screens at once. So it's like it just didn't work.
It was okay, the one on the Wii U. I didn't hate it. It was just a bit clunky.
Mind it.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Rare?
Microsoft bought them, didn't they?
They did, and then everyone was hoping that there was going to be this big revival, and what we got was Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. It was not quite what we wanted. And there we go.
So disappointed in that. Oh, and I've got one more Switch 2 news.
Go on.
So also, everyone keeps going on about this. There's a Joy-Con patent that shows the controller that could be used as a mouse. So also with mouse support.
I've got my Switch in front of me, and I know we did this before we went live, and I think your idea is probably the one, and I think it's a better understanding. But originally, what I'd thought was the new Joy-Con it's going to look something like that, and one of the Joy-Con on the old one has got the little sensor there. So I was always under the impression that this would have like a little tap feature there. So that would be you click and you'd just hold on to it to move it, and it would just be like this, like a mouse on the thing like that. But Blunders, you're saying there's a button.
Yeah. Well, they haven't said if it's a button or not. The C button. Don't know if it's a button or not, but this is the actual pattern that Nintendo have put in. So you've got this, and then you've got this like split controller. I don't know if this is their new Pro controller or what.
Mm-hmm.
That splits in half, and then you can use that like on a table.
Because there's a whole bunch of games. It's such a cool idea, and it really does lend itself to things, because there's a whole bunch of games that I would love to play with a mouse on a console. The 2-point games, like 2 Point, is it 2 Point? Sorry, 2 Point Campus,
yeah,
and 2 Point Hospital. All those like throwback games would be so good with a mouse, because it lends itself to a mouse, not having to just use your controller. So that would be fantastic.
I'd really like to see. I'd like to see more like arcade on-rail shooters, because I feel like we didn't really get a lot of those. Like we had some on the Wii, on the Switch had like the House of the Dead like remake, but there's so many more. Like I think there's a bit the missed opportunity there to give us a whole bunch of arcade releases of on-rail shooters. That's one thing I'd really like to see. If they had that on the Switch too, like the online library, if they brought out like a whole bunch of shooters, I'd be down for that.
But would it also, as it's saying, would it also be for like first-person shooters? Do you know what I mean? One's on, I don't know, one's like looking around, or the other analog looks while you're using a mouse. I don't know. It just seems a bit weird.
Yeah.
IR reader on the top. Yeah.
I do think it's a great idea, and this would be a fun addition, because there's so many consoles. Like, how many times do we say it on Total Evercade podcast? Like, it would be great if there was a mouse to play some of these games. Imagine if Nintendo were the ones that went, you know what, let's turn one of our controllers into a mouse when you turn it on its side. Like, Nintendo are just they always just do their own little Nintendo thing, and it would be a really great way to sort of make people see that this isn't just a hardware update. Like, it's going to be worth it for the hardware update anyway. But if it has the ability to do all these other little nuances, which would just make certain games that much more enjoyable, phenomenal. So here's hoping that that's what that does.
And then the last bit of the...
Oh, have we lost Blanners there?
Oh, I think we have. I thought that was me.
No, I went very quiet then, because it's
there
normally
we go. You're back.
Oh, I don't know. Literally, my internet thing's just gone from way ago. It should be back now. Can you hear me all right?
Oh,
yeah. So the last Nintendo thing is they've confirmed the direct time. So the direct that is happening for the Switch 2 will take place on April, or 2nd of April, and it will be at 2 p.m. UK time. So it's 2 p.m. Wow. Make sure you're on YouTube on April the 2nd of April. Yeah, it's 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. in America. So yeah, we're getting it at 2.
Wow. Okay. Set your timer. I would love to watch it along live with everybody, but we'll just get copyright struck immediately. So that was
set your alarm.
So we'll have to do.
We can do some afterthoughts, can't we? Of these.
Oh, yeah. I think we should.
Yeah.
Actually, let me check the calendar. What date is the 2nd of April?
Yeah, what date is the 2nd of April?
Day? 2nd of April is a Wednesday. So 1st of April, we could have an April Fool's special of whatever show it is that Tuesday evening, and then Wednesday we could do reflections, thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2.
100%.
Yeah, exciting.
Beautiful.
Times.
So yeah, that is all the Nintendo news.
It just keeps coming, doesn't it? It keeps coming. So as we edge into the last topic, If anybody has any random questions for the panel that they want to ask, please feel free. We'll give them a little star, see if there's any left at the end, and we will get to those. Lastly, we're going to talk about the PlayStation Plus games, and that is the games that you'll get free with your base level subscription to PlayStation Plus every month. I did have a look at what games they were. I think one is High on Life.
Yeah, Triangulate's been playing them, haven't you, Triangulate?
I have played one. I've just been playing the Pac-Man World repack.
Yes.
And then the other one was Payday 3.
Yes. How are you finding Pac?
Yeah, it's all right. It's quite a fun little platform game. I've only played the first few bits. There's quite a few little novelty bits you have to do to like trigger different stuff happening in the game. But there's bits where there are ghosts, and then you have to pick up like the pellet to grow big, and you turn into like the original Pac-Man, and you go around chomping on the ghosts and stuff. And it's all right. It's quite a fun little platform game to kill a couple of hours, I guess, here and there. The funny thing about it though was I was playing on it, and it was in the morning. I was the first one up. I was playing on this game. I'll give it a go because I haven't got long before the children wake up. And then my youngest daughter came downstairs and she said, "Oh, can I have a go?" I was like, "Yeah." See how she gets on because she's still, not able to really play games properly. I was like, "Well, it's Pac-Man World. It's probably a good one for her to give a try." And she thought it was hilarious because she kept on this bit with water, and she couldn't get out of the water. And then eventually she'd give me the controller, and I was like, "Can you get me out of the water?" I get out of the water, go to the next bit, and then I give it back to her, and then she'd just go back and get in the water again. And then was just like laughing. It's like, we're back in the water again. And she just thought it was like, I like swimming. And yeah, so I played it for a while, but we did not get past the bit with the water because all she wanted to do was just get in the water and swim around. It was like, after a while, I was like, okay, this is really tedious now. I was like, we move the game along. She's like, nope, we're just going to go for a swim. So all she did was swim.
Beautiful.
So I can't really tell you much more about the game because of that, because we just swam around the same section for ages.
Pac-Man Swim Simulator.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. The other free games, you said Payday 3. I believe that has had a few patches. I think the original Payday 3 launched. It was a little bit buggy. I think it has now been sorted out. But ultimately it's free, so who cares? And then the last one is High on Life from the creator of Rick and Morty. It's his first-person shooter game where you have a gun that talks to you. It is, well, it's batshit mad. But it plays great. It looks fantastic. I have yet to actually properly start it. I bought my copy. I've got my physical one down there, but I might just download the one on PlayStation Plus, leave that one there for a little bit. I hear nothing but really good things. I hear it's, in terms of a first-person shooter, it's just an average first-person shooter. But the comedy and the story and the wackiness of where you are is where that game really does sort of sell. So I think it's a good selection of games this month. It's really good.
Very good.
Excellent. There was a question up there. Oh, yes, from Mr. Toxo. So, looks like we're going to be busy lads at Bristol VGE. That segues us nicely into just throwing in a little plug for Bristol VGE. Alex from the Sega Guru channel, also of the Nottingham Video Games Expo, is bringing his Video Games Expo to Bristol. And it's going to be well, I nearly swore then. I'm trying really hard not to swear too much because I do have a potty mouth. 17 days away. Cannot believe how close that is. This event is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I don't know how many tickets are left. I know it was getting a bit squeaky bum time for anyone that doesn't have a ticket. And this is, this is going to be a good one. Really, really good. These are some of the people that are going to be there that we will be talking to live on stage. We've got the fantastic Graham Norgate. We had a really good chat with Graham at Nottingham VGE last year. Myself and Tim had a great time with him, so it's going to be fantastic to speak to him again. Andy Davidson, the creator of Worms. This is going to be superb. We've got Sean Cleaver from Blaze Entertainment is going to be there to talk all things Evercade. He wants to have a Q&A session, so anyone who's a fan of Evercade wants to talk to Sean, this is going to be your opportunity. We've got the stunning Ross Tregenza. This man has created some incredible soundtracks for the games that you can see there. He is also the man that I wish I looked like the most in the world. Ross Tregenza is a cool guy. So yeah, really excited to be speaking to him again. And then, yeah, a little list there of a couple of other things that are going to be there. Dream consoles, the Museum of Gaming, the various traders that are going to be there. The debug area is going to have its little indie game section. There's going to be some tournaments. There's a Mario Kart tournament. There's going to be Pokemon tournament. There is even talks of a Street Fighter 2 tournament. So
it's Triangle Face's birthday.
It is going to be an absolutely packed event. So if you don't have a ticket, please try and get a ticket now, because they will not last that much longer. What are we most looking forward to at BVGE? I think probably hanging out with Graham and Ross again, because I really enjoyed their company. They're very cool guys. And hopefully just meeting some of you guys. I know a few people are coming down. It'd be great to meet people in person. And yeah, there's always some good traders. Some good traders there.
So I want to meet. I wouldn't mind meeting Sean and then meeting some people in that are on here all the time.
Yeah,
like Toxo and that.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, excellent. All of those things. Also, I'm looking forward to speaking to Andy Davidson. Who created Worms, because I love Worms.
He loves Worms. He's the worst one to play against. All you do is you'll just gang up on him because he goes through everyone. Ninja.
I do, yeah. I need to change my tactic, because unfortunately I get around too much with the Ninja Rope and blow people up, and then everyone comes after me.
Yeah, use that code RGR.
Oh yeah, use code RGR. You'll get a little cheeky bit of money off. Wish you could get out more and go to an event like that on bucket list. Dude, jump on it if you can. If you can't make this one, Nottingham Video Games Expo, I'm 99% certain will be happening later in the year. It's normally around August time. That again is a phenomenal event. I don't know how many days that's going to be this year. There's lots of talk of lots of stuff for Knots VGE this year. So
I think Toxo's already done something in our Facebook group. He's trying to put in there like events that are coming up all around the UK. So if you, depending on where you live, have a look at them, because I know there's one might be happening in Southampton that we might be looking at as well at some point.
Gaming events all over the place. Knots is set for July. Ooh, thank you for that, Cute Tiger. Knots VGE set for July. That's a fantastic weekend as well. Need to build up the confidence. Dude, just come hang out. Come hang out. It's lots of fun. Lots of fun. Lots of things to buy as well. Just make sure your wallet is stacked, because there's just there's too many deals, and there's always a bargain to be had.
That'd be funny, recording our own jingle. It'd be like,
oh mate, I'd be totally into that.
So
I'd really like
David, while you're on, I know you sent me the music for Triangle Faces game we play on Uncensored,
Timmy's Tanks.
But the thing is, you need to send me a link so I can download it. I can't actually get it off our chat at the minute, which I was trying to do earlier. But yeah, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? In our own jingles. I am Plumbers.
I'd like to, if I could, I'd like to put in a request to play the spoons in part of our jingle. That would be, I'd like to learn how to play the spoons if we're going to record a piece of our own jingle. Yeah, happy days. So, that pretty much brings us to the end.
David needed the music there.
Listen to that soft, soothing tone. Wait for it. Oh. There we go. Beautiful. Last question on there is actually from Mr. Dave Newland himself. It's not even a question, it's more of a statement, and I agree with this statement. GTA 6 release penciled for autumn this year. That would be bananas.
And it's on target, apparently. And it's on target to come out on time, that's what I've heard.
Wow. I really, really hope it does come out on time, because that's one that people have been waiting really waiting for. So yeah, let's have a really good fingers crossed for this. Have you got questions to post to the guests that you talked to last year? So sort of. We will probably cover a couple of things just because there'll be people that weren't there last year. I have mentioned to Ross that we're going to look at maybe trying to do something different. I don't know what that's going to entail. I think we've got 17 days to figure it out. But I would like it to be slightly different. Yes, I would really like it to be slightly different. Yeah. Cute Tiger. I'm just going to, for some reason, this is jumping in the back of my brain. Mainly because the name is all of a sudden like just sprung like a weird core memory. Am I meant to be trying to give you a copy of Final Fantasy 13? Is this the same person? If it is, tell me. I'll bring it to knots. Because yeah, otherwise, ignore what I've just said, and I'm going to bring it to me to Bristol anyway, because I think the person that I think wants that will be there. I'm just saying words now, I think.
Amazing.
Anyhow, thank you everyone for watching along. Not me, although you'll take it. Yeah. If I can't find the person I'm meant to give it to. Thank you everyone for watching along live. You are always very welcome here, and we are always very humbled to have you all joining us live. It's been very, very good fun this evening. And Bludders with his new little bit there. If you can hit that like button for us, it lets us know that you've been here. It lets us know that you've enjoyed the content. If you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, because that helps us out a lot as well, and it doesn't cost anything. Game in Memory, thank you again for your little cheeky donation. That was incredibly wonderful of you. And everyone else in the chat, thank you again. Hopefully we will see you all in the next episode next week, and I look forward to seeing as many of you as we can at Bristol. So
yeah, awesome.
All that's left to say is thank you very much, and we will see you next week. So good evening.